Excuse me, y'all. I'm all eating these sunflower seeds on video. So I'm doing my hair, y'all. So um, I decided to get on video because I got intuitively to serve today. So that's why I got on, y'all. Y'all know I get on only now when God tell me to. So this is a multi-topic video. There's been some interesting synchronicities, and some of the synchronicities is coming through celebrities. So y'all keep your eyes open. Okay, keep your eyes open for celebrities, female celebrities especially, being a synchronicity. All right, so I want to talk about how I lost 22 pounds in about 4.5 weeks. And some of the things I'm going to tell y'all is not what y'all have heard before. Now, I got a confirmation for a download I got about weight loss. And then the creator was telling me to look back and was showing me how I was already doing it. And then I got the Akashic record lesson for it. So one of the things I realized is um, eating, like if you're even if you're not trying to lose weight, sometimes you eat for taste. You don't eat to get full. You don't eat because you're hungry. You eat for taste. Even if you're hungry, you have to eat for taste. So basically, it's like, oh, because I'm in a mood to taste that, but I'm not necessarily in a mood to fill up on some food. So, for example, when I said I'm in a mood to taste pumpkin pie, I made sure that I wasn't eating pumpkin pie because I'm depressed or upset, I'm sad, or I'm trying to fill up, but I ate it because of taste. What this happens is once the food tastes good and I really taste it, I'm not going to want to eat no more of it. See what I'm saying? So, food is really supposed to be eaten for what you're trying to get from it energetically, health wise, and for taste. It's never supposed to eat it because you're going through stuff or you can't sleep or you're stressed out. Actually, the moment you get stressed out, you should get away from food and find something of the lowest calories if you're going to eat, of the lowest calories to eat when you're stressed. Or you should probably consider having something that would help you emotionally as you're eating it, like cracking open sunflower seeds. Some people smoke CBD. I prefer to smoke my CBD because the feeling of blowing smoke out of my mouth gives me the feeling of releasing stress. So if you want to get nicotine free, smoke CBD or whatever. Our ancestors smoked CBD. Why some of them lived so long, because their stress levels were always very low because they were smoking CBD. So for me, what I started doing is the moment I got stressed out, I would run for my CBD, or I would go eat a couple sunflower seeds, or I would actually put on something that would keep my mind from wandering. So another thing I realized with losing weight is idle mind. Okay, when your mind is idle too long, the devil will step in. Anybody's negative thoughts about you will be able to come through to your mind, and you will think they're your thoughts when there's somebody else's negative thoughts about you. So try not to have your mind so idle. So that's something to think about as well. How often is your mind idle? Like, I know people think, how is that going to help me lose weight? I'm telling you, no lie. Back in the 90s, our minds were out idle only when we was in creation energy, or only when we had homework to do, or we were learning, or we were like, you know, right before bedtime, we was meditating before bedtime, getting in a, cooler energy so we can have a good sleep. Other than that, we really wasn't having idle minds all day. The addiction to meditation is actually blocking manifestation. I know people are glamorizing meditating, but I can tell you no lie that meditating can open doors to battles that you don't even notice going on energetically towards your energy. But when you meditate, now then you sense it. You ever hear what you don't know won't hurt you? So when you're like idle all the time, then you start to know things that the creator don't want you to know. The creator want to handle and deal with, clear out for you, and it's really none of your business. So I know people say, "Well, I want to know how I'm being attacked." If you truly know you're covered in favor, you shouldn't even be worrying about that. Like you should be like, "Okay, I'm cool. God got me or whatever." If you know you're doing good out in this world, then there's really no need to be like, you know, heavily thinking about your problems. The creator will clear out your problems provided that you ask for help. Okay? Ask for the answers. Don't say you can do it alone. That's the first thing I stopped saying on my weight loss journey. On every journey now, I say, I cannot do this alone. Send me some help. Whether it's through the energy space or it's through technology, send me the help that I've been needing for my personal journey. So when I started saying I need help in this, all of a sudden, like maybe a few days later, I would get the answer out of nowhere. And this would be on my weight loss journey. All of a sudden, I would hear a random word repeated like, oh, get some sunflower seeds. Oh, have a cup of coffee instead of oatmeal. I would get stuff like that and be like, why am I hearing this? But I would just do it because I knew I was in a fasted state and I knew I had asked for help. So I knew that most likely this is for my best benefit, best interest. So I trusted when the creator told me no food right now, have something to drink. I trusted it. See what I'm saying? I didn't say, no, I'm feeling bad. No, I'm very hungry. Or no, I'm going to go get some food. I did not override my instincts. And my instinct said, wait till you're very hungry right now to eat. I did. Okay. I didn't challenge it. Like blessings get blocked when you keep challenging the creator, like doubting when the creator is trying to have you do less and be less and consume less. When you doubt that, then you pay whatever karmic debt that comes with it. It could be right after you doubted it, next you know you're binge eating. Like this is real, y'all. So don't doubt your instincts to give something up, to quit something, to say, I'm not going to engage in this. Whenever I would get the feeling like, you know what, I don't need to talk about this to my family right now, I would own it. The creator always comes first. The devil is always behind the creator. Always keep that in mind. When you get the wrong guidance in the devil, it's because you missed the guidance of God. Okay? I know people say, well, the devil came first because there was darkness and there was light. No, darkness is actually the beginning of creation. Okay? Of being absent, of being open, of being nothing there. Like in the movie, the Lego movie with the Lego guy. So having be willing to miss out on a lot of stuff. Okay? Be willing to have absence in your life. Things that everybody else is having. Like get that out of your life. Like if everybody else is having a lot of technology time of surfing and streaming, then that's something you don't do. If everybody is having a lot of social time, that's something that you don't do. If you always do what the majority is doing, then you're probably consuming more toxic energy, too much toxic energy. And that becomes an influence on your diet, on your decisions. So distancing yourself from what the majority is doing. If you see 99% of the people on these platforms are saying go to the gym, work out, you don't go to the gym because the energy is heavy there, and heavy energy will affect you emotionally. you will think that you're just suffering from depression. Meanwhile, it's everybody else's depression energy that is affecting you. So when I started questioning, like, is everyone doing this? How many, is this a common thing? Once I got the answer, then I knew what not to do. So if I heard, yeah, a lot of people wake up and they have cereal and oatmeal. A lot of people wake up and they have bacon and eggs. A lot of people wake up, and they have chicken and waffles. So I'm like, no, I shouldn't do that because I'm matching all these people's frequency. Like I'm literally, and I don't know what they're releasing and what I'm going to receive from them by matching them. So I said when 99% of the world on this specific moon time is probably consuming this, I'm not going to. So let's say we have a Capricorn moon. Hi, everybody. I'm going to get on video in a minute, y'all. Y'all know how I like to do my hair in private first. But let's say everybody during the Capricorn moon is secretly storing away money, hiding, tricking people out of money, or a lot of people are what you call shopping a lot, or a lot of people are hoarding money and things like that, or hoarding food, or being stingy and cheap, or materialistic. I'm not going to be in any of that energy. When people are hoarding during the Capricorn moon and keeping things as of no value to them, I'm not going to keep things as of no value. When people are obsessed with maybe doing drugs at that time or being around druggies or partying hard or things like that, I'm not saying Capricorn energy is toxic. There's a good side to Capricorn. But what I'm saying is when people are in that shopping addiction type of energy or just looking for sales and discounts and all that type of stuff, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to look for knowledge. I'm going to look for my ancestors' help. I'm going to look for purging instead of shopping. I'm going to purge instead of shopping. See, that would be the opposite. Okay, y'all? I'm breaking it down. Hi, everybody. Now, here's another thing. When everybody is obsessed with looking for help outside of themselves, which a lot of people are doing right now, instead of noticing the synchronicities, a lot of people are like going to teachers or they're going to their grandmother or parents or whatever and um looking for help or whatever. So I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna go and be grounded. I'm gonna go and get it from the trees. I'm gonna go and get it from natural spiritual stuff. See what I'm saying? I'm gonna go and try to speak to my ancestors on the other side and let my ancestors give me the synchronicities. See, that would be opposite. See what I'm saying? When people are trying to um, you know, partner up or hook up, or trying to turn up or whatever in these nightclubs and bars and stuff, I'm not. If I do go there, if I do go there, I'm not buying expensive drinks and stuff. See, because I know everyone else is going to be like spending money, thinking, oh, at least I'm spending it on, high value. But thrifty is also very abundant, being thrifty. Like thrifty eating. Like thrifty eating is sometimes eating like a poor person. So that's another thing. Like what I was doing was I was having 2 days a week at least where I was thrifty eating. And then one day I would eat very abundant. And that would be the day I would eat like an emperor. I would eat maybe like 200 over my calorie maintenance. And then the next day I would eat very thrifty. See what I'm saying? I would eat more for taste. For breakfast and lunch, I would eat for taste and not for calorie count. So the day before it would be emperor energy, warrior eating, like I'm eating to get gains. And then the next day it would be I'm eating like a homeless man. You see what I'm saying? Very thrifty. And then maybe the next 2 days I would eat like a queen, where I'm counting every single calorie, I'm monitoring every single meal. I'm having a little bit of fruit, or I have a little bit of dessert, and my dessert is actually a meal. The creator told me that dessert is supposed to be treated like a meal. I know that's wild. Like, I know we all been taught, like, oh, dessert is like after dinner. Dessert is actually a meal, and only reason why people has been able to get away with it being a part of dinner is because in the old days people were in such a big calorie deficit that they was able to make that, oh, this is a part of my dinner, when really dessert is supposed to be a separate meal. This is the realest talk, y'all. Try it one day. Like, say my pumpkin pie. My pumpkin pie and my tea is actually my lunch. You'll see, okay? Because what'll happen is sometimes that meal is supposed to be not what you normally would have, okay? Like, if people say, oh, protein, sometimes a meal is supposed to be low protein and more fat. It depends on your hormones and your pleasure levels, okay? If you have been like, I ain't really enjoying this food is getting boring, or I'm not really pleased by this food, then one of your meals maybe need to be dessert. Okay, that's going to trigger a love and appreciation for food again. And then when you do have your dinner, you're going to really enjoy it. Hi, everybody. Is anybody understanding what I'm saying in here? Anybody that is listening? I know very well they're not promoting this channel anymore, so some of y'all are not getting the videos. So what, on some days a week, I treat dessert like a meal. Okay? And what I do with my dessert is I hydrate a lot with that dessert. That way, I fill up my stomach, 80%. Like, I was looking up the Asian way of eating, and I didn't even realize I was eating like the Asians, where their stomach is only 80% full every day. Okay? And that goes with even when you're manifesting something. If you're trying to manifest anything, if you have a lot of it and it's heavy, then it's not going to come through. So it even applies to when you're trying to lose weight. So if you're trying to lose weight for the day, and you've been filling up your stomach, each meal has been filling up your stomach. Like, let's say that every meal has been filling up, you've been filling your stomach up 90%, which would be like maybe 100 over the calorie for that specific meal. And that means by the end of the day, unless you burned a ridiculous amount of calories, you probably are going to gain weight, or you're not going to lose weight. So the trick is if you want to lose weight without having to work hard and work out and all that type of stuff, make sure that you're not so full. You can feel some hollowness, emptiness in your stomach after every meal. You feel satisfied. Your taste buds is satisfied, but your stomach is not full. Okay? If your taste buds is not satisfied, then you're going to want to eat more food. So if you eat, if it's a small amount of food and it's very pleasurable in taste, you're not going to want more food. Okay? That's I'm breaking this down as a science, y'all, because I've been figuring this out. Okay. So at least two of your meals have to be very pleasurable, because two of the meals are royalty meals. So on the days that you're not thrifty eating, those are the days that two of your meals must be of high quality. The queen and the king. This means even if you didn't cook the food, you need to do something to make the food high quality. Tastes really, really good. Small amount, really. Okay, when we think about the stomach, you see the fat on the outside, but your stomach is not actually big on the inside. It's smaller than you think. So if your portion size, believe it or not, on your plate is bigger than your hand, bigger than the average hand length. So a lady's hand, you know, you can use the hand of someone that's in their 20s or whatever. Not basketball hands, okay, not basketball hands, but we're talking about the average hand. If you're without nails, if your food is filling up more than that on your plate, and even if it's pasta, if it's more than that, even with pasta, this is if you flatten the pasta out. You flat the pasta out on the plate. Okay, not stacking it high, but flatten it out on the plate. If it's more than your hand, even in weight, if you grab a palm of your pasta, that's why it's so nice to eat, to pick your food with your hand, because then you get close to the right proportion. So if you scoop your pasta out with your hand, that's probably the amount of, most likely the amount of pasta you probably should have for your dinner meal. Okay? I know this all sounds very weird. Very, very weird, but um so it's the taste, y'all. It's the taste. It's the taste for all creation. So when you're creating something, even if you're doing the project that God gave you, you're creating for quality and taste. You're not creating for quantity. Okay? You don't need two pieces of fish on your plate. You need high quality fish on your plate. A piece of high quality fish. Okay? The human body actually does not need a lot of food. It actually needs very little food, believe it or not. It is very good at working on its own. But we put way too much food um in our body. If we are doing what God wants us to do, you will find out that you don't need much food. When you are in your purpose energy, you will find out that you don't need much food. Okay? But a lot of people aren't in their purpose energy. They're doing stuff because it can give them money. And then they say, "Oh, they're doing stuff for money, attention," and then they say, "Oh, I got burnout." If you're doing anything for money and attention, just for money and attention, that's the only reason why you're doing it, because you know it could give you some money. You're going to have a moment where you're going to be set back real big, and that's just the way the creator work. Okay, you will have a huge setback. So you have to want to do it because you know it's the right thing to do. It will improve the world, and it's healthy for you. And you know that it comes natural for you. So getting into manifestation should be something that's more natural. Even if you're learning the skill of it, it should be like, oh, it comes so natural even learning it. Now, when you're choosing your workouts with your diet, with your losing weight, it has to be something that comes natural to you. If you have to talk yourself into doing it, force yourself to doing it, try to do all kind of things, stay motivated to keep doing it when you're doing it, then it's not coming natural. Once you do it, it should be like natural, like you just can't stop doing it. That's how you know that it's a part of the creator's plan for your manifestation. You should feel the ultimate pleasure from doing it. That's your workouts or whatever you're doing. So stacking your pleasures, stack them up during your day, like the ultimate pleasures. So, for example, Stephen King doesn't write nothing else but thrillers and mysteries and, horror stuff, stuff that's really creepy stuff. Because that's his ultimate pleasure. He says that he thinks of creepy things all day. Like his mind is on it all day long. He says he's a very paranoid, creepy, scary person. He's scared of a lot of stuff. They were interviewing Stephen King. He's always thinking something something scary is going to happen in a situation. He said that's how his mind works. So he's sticking with that because he is in his most ultimate pleasure. His body barely ever wants food. He literally writes for countless hours a day with just a vitamin in his body. No lie. That's why that man is so skinny, so lean. But that's what I was saying, the ultimate pleasures. Eliminate the basic pleasures. So what I've been doing lately is I've been creating the ultimate music playlist for myself. I've been building this playlist over like weeks, y'all. When I tell y'all, like I'm still finding some of my favorite songs from back in the day to add. It's like this is the ultimate playlist. But I know that once I'm through this playlist every day, doing something for myself that's the ultimate pleasure as well. Like two ultimate pleasures happening simultaneously. I know that it automatically helps me through. Naturally, I get through any hunger spell without even realizing that I am. I don't even realize I'm getting hungry. My body automatically only wants food for taste at that point because I'm already experiencing the ultimate pleasure. When you're eating a lot of food, it's because your body is starved of pleasure. It's starved of it, y'all. So stack your pleasures. Doesn't matter what anyone think. Still do your pleasures. Okay? Doesn't matter if anyone's watching. Doesn't even matter if anyone has anything negative to say about the pleasures. You know, you know how they make you feel, and that's it. You know? I have a family member who was once in the best shape of their life, and it was when they was always into cars, not just fixing them, but they were into going to car shows, playing with toy cars. I would have to buy them a toy car every other Christmas for them to play with cars. It was their pleasure. And going to concerts, they enjoyed that. And cooking for other people. When they stopped cooking for other people, I noticed that they started overeating and they started gaining weight and being miserable. So helping other people achieve their pleasures will always give you, if you're divine, ultimate pleasure. So what I started doing is allowing family members who get a lot of pleasure out of feeding people. I started letting them feed me, but I started only eating the food that they made that gave me tremendous pleasure. So if it didn't give me tremendous pleasure, I didn't put a lot of it on my plate. I ate very little of it. But if I really enjoyed like their stuffing or something, then I would take other stuff off the plate and put the stuffing in its place. Like I don't see the point of even eating a plate of food if it isn't like if it isn't like 90% extremely pleasurable, you know. Unless it's a thrifty, if it's a food, it's a thrifty food day. So let's say you have a habit of binge eating, and that's why you can't lose weight. This means you need at least, I would say, if you've been in binge eating on Fridays and Saturdays, and you're like, this is always making me gain weight or stay at the same weight, then you need at least 2 meals. I would say at least 3 meals that week that are thrifty. Now you can have it on the days that you don't binge eat, but it's better if you have it on the days after you binge eating. So if you've been binge eating on like Fridays and Saturdays, then possibly Sunday and Mondays, you need 2 meals that are thrifty. Now, of course, this is gonna you may lose weight slowly, but you're still gonna lose weight because you're staying either in your calorie maintenance or right under it, and then by you going through your day, your calorie maintenance, you're not going to bed with your calorie maintenance. You're eating at calorie maintenance, possibly, but most likely you are. But that's not what you're going to bed with. You're going to bed under your maintenance. So, um, look at it like Friday and Saturdays. You're like, oh, I'm eating 200 over my calorie maintenance. Oh, I'm worried I'm going to gain weight. Sunday and Monday is your thrifty days. Is your thrifty eating. Role play. Now, let's get into that. Don't, whoever you are that got you fat, don't be that person 3 days a week. Be someone else. Role play. Literally just role play. Like, go get somebody that you know and try out their diet. Somebody that's skinnier than you. Try out what they're doing through their day. You know? That's what I started doing, and I noticed it was getting easier for me to lose weight. So, like, at least 3 days a week, I try out my daughter's life schedule. Okay? When she lived with me. Her life schedule was she always went shopping or to somebody's house. She walked. She walked 2 days a week. For some reason, she did. Whether it was walking to a friend's house or walking around the mall with her friends or whatever. So I started doing that. Okay? And normally I do it by 1 o'clock, like she would do. She'd be at her friend's house by 1 o'clock. Or her and her friend would be like going to go get their hair done or shopping or whatever. So I started doing that. Imitating how she would eat. My daughter would wake up, she would have some eggs, some spinach. She'd have a piece of bread. That's it. She didn't eat high carbs in the morning. So I started imitating her, and I noticed like I would get hungrier sooner the next day, which is a good sign. That means that like I was in ketosis pretty early. So actually 3 days a week I copy my daughter. My daughter, some days she wakes up and all she has is a cup of coffee. Other days she has eggs, kale, and maybe a piece of bread with some butter on it. That's it. And her biggest meal sometimes is her dinner. Most of the times her dinner. So I switched to having my biggest meal at dinner. And that also changed things. But I stopped eating by like 7 p.m. Now, the other days of the week, I started having most of my food before dinner. So a couple days a week, I eat like I used to eat. Most of my food before dinner. Dinner being my being a small meal. Other days of the week, I eat like my daughter, where her biggest meal is dinner. So what's this doing is this is allowing me to not be bored with being me. Okay, it's allowing me to have another way of eating. If I'm sick and tired of it, if it starts to feel like I'm dieting, I can always switch to another way of eating. See, I think that it's about quantity too, of a certain time of day in the quantity, like how much you're eating at a certain time. You have to decide that according to how you were eating the day before. See what I'm saying? Like, if you don't know how you were eating the day before, you really cannot decide how much you need to eat and when the next day. You can't decide that. So journaling your day, how you've been eating and when and how much, allows you to look back on that day and be like, okay, so I ate a little heavy yesterday. Like, you literally have to journal it. Don't try to put it in your head, okay? Like, write it down and allow yourself to see it So you can be like, oh, okay, I see here my dinner meal was like 700 calories. It was my biggest meal. So I probably can eat a small meal tomorrow morning because my dinner meal was big yesterday evening. Now let's say you have one day where you're like, I'm not up to eating a big dinner. I'm gonna eat a small dinner. Then that mean the next morning you probably can eat a full breakfast. See what I'm saying? So just keep track. Keep track. I'm not really into calorie watching unless it's my hearty eating day, my emperor eating day. So, and that day is normally because my energy's real low. I was doing a lot of work during the week. My biggest meal is normally eaten at the end of the week, like my biggest eating day. So it might be like Sunday, I might eat 200 over my calories or something like that. Or Monday, if that's the end of my week cycle, it'll be like 200 over my calories, over my maintenance. And then I just jump right back into the thrifty eating. So this is my thrifty eating day to day. Okay. So my idea of cheating on a diet is having a energy recovery day in which you're eating like an emperor. But you can't do it every day. Okay? You get one day to spoil yourself. And then that's it, you know? Then there's semi spoiled, which would be the middle of the week, like getting into the queen week. If I recall, I think, see, it's all spiritual too, y'all. It's all spiritual. Okay? Because if I recall, Tuesday, Wednesday, certain days of the week actually require certain types of food and certain way of eating. This is a scripture that has been taken. The pharaohs tore out because they knew it would get us powerful. Okay, if we knew the days of the weeks have certain requirements of our lifestyle. Hi, everybody. So, like Sunday, the Sabbath, if it's Saturday or Sunday, that day is where you would be in mourning, grieving energy. You wouldn't overeat those days. You would probably be eating, small meals on that Saturday. You would be in thrifty energy. I remember when we would go out on Saturdays, we would go all day almost without eating, or we would just be eating little things all day long, and then we would go and celebrate. Now, here's something I realized is important for any manifestation. It has to be celebration in your day. Okay, just celebrating, just celebrating being able to enjoy the fruits of this world, even if if you think you're not exactly where you want to be. Okay, to celebrate, even if you're sick, like find a way to celebrate the day. That energy is going to give you the boost of like confidence, courage, um, confirmation of your self-worth. You're going to get the happy hormone, and it's going to lower cortisol. So people see now celebration as a waste of life, like going dancing, going to the nightclub. People say, oh, that's a waste of life, when it's actually not, which I can explain in another video. Okay. They knew in Egyptian times that night dancing, was very important for manifestation. So, um, you know, get you a dance partner, or it doesn't matter who it is, and maybe learn a dance step, and y'all do the dance step and you practice dance step. Like even doing like dancing at lunchtime, like after before you eat, dance and dance and dance, or while you're eating. Like literally, in old times, they would have even fruit in their hand or a drink, and they're dancing your fruit or dancing around. It really helps to show gratitude without saying I'm giving gratitude. Okay. I think the celebration of what you are able to eat, and at least what you managed to do that day that worked in your favor, that there should be celebration of that regardless if you've had massive results. Hi everybody. Okay, y'all got to get ready to go. Finally got done with this hit. I know that some people might have bought. I don't know who everybody that bought the ebook. I didn't forget about y'all. I had to take care of some business yesterday. Family and health first. I had to take care of my health yesterday. So I had to get some extra sleep and some health care yesterday. But I will send the ebook out today, the beta version of my ebook. Will be sent out in a private link to anyone who bought it, anyone who buys it. It's $8. You can send $8 through my Cash App, and I will send a private link where you can read the ebook. The ebook it's a spiritual ebook. Okay, I don't want to ruin it, but if you email me and you want to find out about the book, I can tell you a bit about the book, and then you can decide whether you want to buy it. I will actually be putting up a page where everybody can just go read, look at the page, find out about the book, and then decide whether they want to buy it. It will be on Amazon very soon. I had to put my health first, y'all. So I had a health situation. So I feel like I'm finally breaking through this health problem. So I can actually focus on this book now, on promoting it and sending the copies out to my buyers. But thank you, everybody who have been patient waiting for this book. I would say what my health problem was, but we know that people love to do spell work. Like I found out, when you go through a health crisis, never ever say it out loud and never tell nobody, because that tells people how to do spell work on you that would possibly work. So hide your sicknesses, like, from people. I'm not saying don't seek help from your loved ones, but don't tell people when you're unwell. Okay, random people and strangers. Because the enemy is always watching. And when it knows your health problems, then it knows it can figure out what chakra to attack. And you just don't got time to keep on like fighting with spell work over and over again when you're trying to have breakthroughs. Okay, bye everybody. If you'd like to donate to the channel, you could donate to my Cash App at money sign Coach V Hunter. I do have another video with some synchronicities and some things, but I'm going to save it for my people that donated and my members. Okay. All right. See y'all later. Bye, everybody. Thank you for the donations. Once again, if you want to buy my ebook, please email me, and I will send you the link where you can find out about the ebook and how to buy it. It's available in the beta version only for 7 days. After 7 days, you will not be able to read it, access the book through my VIP link. You'll have to buy it on Amazon. Bye, everybody.